Hey everyone, Eric Nelson here once again, and thank you for tuning into my YouTube channel. For today, I am back with another book review on Marlin Williams's The Attic Piranhas. Now, I know that sounds like a horror flick, but believe me, with the exception of a couple of scenes, it's anything but a horror flick. And the few scary scenes that I had said, it's not like ooh, it's just, I mean, it is a little I mean, it could make you twitch a little, but it's for the most part, this book is or it's like a serious comedy where it's kind of like Forrest Gump almost, where funny situations happen, but it's in a much more serious tone. So anyway, and speaking of Forrest Gump, well, no, maybe I shouldn't use that similarity because the protagonist of the book, who is Max Fagan, although he is a little off. He actually doesn't have the same the same not illness, but he doesn't have the same slowness as Forrest Gump has. But anyway, it actually centers around Max Fagan, who is pretty much down on his luck, where he lost his career. He's running out of money, and he's almost going into foreclosure. He only has one friend by the name of Charlie Axon. Now, when I actually did this, when I said the word friend, well, now what does that mean? Well, I'm not gonna reveal what that means, not just to avoid a spoiler, but just to make sure that you all know it's well worth the read as to who exactly Charlie Axon is. And believe me, it is a who, it's just a different kind of who. So anyway, Max Fagan is pretty much, as I said, down on his luck, where he's running out of everything almost, until he comes across his friend Wong, who is a hot dog vendor. And as he's paying for his hot dog, his friend Wong says, "Money no good, uh, change better." Now, he means the obvious. He actually wants change. However, Max takes that literally, by he's thinking in his own messed up mind. He's thinking that, hey, money doesn't really matter to me, it should be change. He needs to change himself. And how does he actually achieve change? Well, he uses a top secret relic from World War II to to actually get what he wants: money and power. Now, what usually happens when someone collects money and power? Well, not 100% of the people who achieve that, but a lot of times they become evil. And that's what happens with Max. He and his friend Charlie Axon become evil as they collect more money and more power, and they of course wreak havoc among the citizens who lives among them, until Max finally comes to his real senses, and he has to have a real epic battle uh, with Charlie Axon, his friend. Now, how does that battle come out? Well, let's just say, since Charlie Axon is not the typical who, it's not your typical battle, and let's just say it's really weird, really awkward, but very entertaining. And that's actually, and that pretty much sums up the entire book, which it's a pretty weird, pretty awkward, but it's very creative. And I like how the actual character of Max, he before he begins to actually change, he has all of he's thinking all of these thoughts that maybe we don't think of exactly, but there always comes a time in our lives where we actually just do nothing but sit and think, and it's just and it's usually crazy thoughts. Well, this is something that Max actually does pretty much all the time. The only difference between him and us is that he actually acts on those crazy thoughts, which of course gets him into trouble. However, it does create a great story, and I think Marlon Williams did a wonderful job, because since that he's acting on crazy thoughts, he's pretty much writing exactly what he wants, but I like how he still follows a really good story structure. It's not like where he's writing all over the place, because Max's thoughts are all over the place. He pieces everything together and creates a really good, creative, and funny story. So you can get this book pretty much anywhere, especially Amazon, and you can follow Marlon Wayans on Twitter or Facebook. And I hope to see you all at the bookstore or the iBookstore.